There is something that is called a challenging assignment incentive.
Correct.
And I think we got a response to this on Friday. So the challenging assignment incentive is 10% above base salary, correct?
Could be, yes.
It could be. So that's not set.
No, it's not set.
It's
at 10%.
Okay. So is 10% then the maximum?
It is.
So it can be up to 10%. So 10%, it's not a set 10%, it's up to 10%.
Correct.
Okay. That helps clarify that. So my real big question on this, how is the criteria for determining a challenging assignment figured out? Like, what's the criteria that's used to even figure that out?
Yeah.
Well, we know who did, but we don't know why.
Criteria.
We don't know the criteria. We know who did, but there's nothing about why.
Yeah, so criteria is dependent on the situation, right? There's different situations that happen as to different. So I'll give you an example. What we submitted to you were, I believe, 4.
I think there were 5. Yeah, 5.
5. Okay,
Yeah.
so 5, and within that, there were a number of people from our fiscal services department, given some transition that happened within fiscal services, and before that, with COVID and other things that were going on, working, their staff were working tremendous amount of hours of overtime and other things of that nature, and because of that, we chose to pay them an additional money, some additional funds in order to compensate them for that time.
Okay, so
those specific ones that are there.
So then who's actually deciding that criteria?
It's in
like who makes that decision on?
So we take it into executive cabinet and discuss what we're trying to do from a compensation perspective.
Okay.
So as an executive cabinet team, it's decided.
So then, like, for example, so the ones that you brought up, so because there were some transitions and there was extra workload put on them, then it goes into executive cabinet and is decided that, deliberated on if they need more pay because they're working above what they normally would, or what they're effectively set to. That's kind of what I was hearing there. Am I accurate in that?
Yeah, depending on what they're doing.
Depending on what they're doing. So then they're working overtime and getting paid more for that overtime.
Those are all management, so they don't get overtime.
They don't get overtime, but they're working beyond what is considered to be the normal rate for that.
So I'll give you an example, right? So one of the individuals that moved out was overseeing benefits. So we had an individual oversee both their current department and the benefits department. So they took on a completely new department, right, while we were filling a role, as an interim, I guess, over that department. So they were filling 2 roles for the district while we filled the benefits backfill, the risk management backfill. That's an example. It looks like we have.
Just really quickly, just for clarity for anybody that may be watching and people in the room again, and I think you did this, but I just want to make sure that there is a mechanism within the administrative salary schedule that allows for up to, it seems like I didn't know it was just that, but up to 10% in regards to the challenging assignment incentive, right? What I heard was that people working harder because of COVID. How many people working harder because of COVID? All right. Still, but just to be clear, there are no site administrators on that list. There are no educators on that list. There are 3 people from fiscal services, 1 person from payroll, and 1 person from state and federal. Is that correct?
Yeah, and all within the administrative services division, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you see why there might be a feeling of disconnect between what people are feeling in the classroom on our campuses and decisions that are being made?
Absolutely.
So then why is that decision made? That's what we're trying to figure out, is how is that decision made? And when we come to a table like this, there seems to be not only not acknowledging the work of our educators, and even in the case of our site principals, in fact, it's yet again, we want to add more to your plate, whether it be more instructional time, more like, so I just want you to understand that's not even a question. I just want you to understand why that feeling might exist. The fact that it even was approved, those types of things, that's rough because it sends a message throughout the system. I'll let you finish it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be.
He still
I
has
was
a
going to
question.
say
I don't know if you guys
I'll
want to
be.
go there or not.
Well, I was going to be polite and let you have a chance to respond to Manuel if you wanted to.
He said for me to consider it.
Okay.
I'm considering
Okay.
it.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah. So, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue.